the hottest man of the evening, WaveWarrior.
Oh yeah.
He just
the new guy.
Yeah, he's new overall, but he also just got a 145. 2 days ago?
Yep.
Which is third place. Yeah.
And then there's Araya, which has been around for a while, and he has a lot of race experience. I would say he's like the vet of this group. He's been doing red for a long time, especially races. And I would say Quay would be considered the underdog in this tournament for the finals.
Yeah, I was gonna use the same word actually, the underdog. But hey, if Quelaagging can pull a lead here, I think we're gonna see some serious. Personally, you gotta root for the underdog.
I mean, if he's gotten to this point, that means that he can definitely win this race if things go his way. So, I think all three runners have a pretty fair shot, just depending on what happens.
I already see WaveWarrior being a little bit ahead just from better matching execution in the intro.
That is how it goes. He's been focusing a lot on the small stuff recently, and the way I like to think of it is every unit of time you save is one less unit of luck that you need to achieve the time you want. Of course, it works a little bit differently in a race, but I think it's actually arguably more important. In a race, if you're racing properly and like really understand the game and stuff, like you have to constantly be thinking about what decisions you want to make based on what the position of the other runner. And it's actually very difficult to always make the correct decision in that case because it's a lot of information to process.
You can see here WaveWarrior and Araya getting to the rival fight a lot faster than Quaid did, just off of pure timing text boxes and clearing the jingles properly. So you can see how that would, like, over the course of the run, how much time they would save over really small technical details.
How would stream sniping help? Well, I mean, it's knowing when and where to take your risks is a key element of Pokemon speedrunning. And do I want to take a Slowpoke red bar on this attempt, or do I want to spend extra money on potions this attempt, or do I want to save for an Elite Four fight and stuff? Especially late game, knowing where the other runners are is super important to the whole thing.
So Quay having to use his potion, WaveWarrior getting a lot of growls, and Araya significantly ahead here, just based on the luck from the rival fight.
Yeah, this first little stretch here actually really sets the pace for the run a lot. There's so much variance in the first split, it's crazy.
Wow, WaveWarrior getting really held back here.
It might be the worst rival fight we've seen in the tournament so far.
Yeah. Maybe should have considered tail whipping again once you start doing 1 damage. But oh wow, that was I saw 10 attack, 12 defense.
Wow, and Araya getting the level 3 rat he needed to. Araya off to a really good start here. Even for a PB attempt, his time would be pretty good.
Yeah, we take those. Let's see if WaveWarrior gets... Oh no. Okay, we take those for sure. Level 2 Pidgey is much better than level 3 Pidgey, even though he could have run, but it's nice to get your XP in. Level 2 Pidgey always dies in 3 hits, can die in 2 hits with a critical, and only does 4 damage to you without any shenanigans.
Yeah, what did you say WaveWarrior's attack was?
He had 10 attack, so yeah, that's another good point, that he also had bad attack, so the level 3 Pidgey wouldn't have even died in 3 hits.
Yeah, it's only about 1/3 to die in 3 hits, I believe, if you have 10 or 11 attack. If you have 12, then it should be 2/3. Chat made a fair point. Let's just switch the audio to Araya. I'll do that.
We're not supposed to, am I supposed to have audio in some way, by the way? Oh, I'm watching the wrong. Nice.
Oh, you weren't watching the restream?
Yeah, I wasn't watching the restream. Actually, my restream is not working. That's okay. I can still see what's going on. Or actually, I guess I'm like.
There's a way to fix it. I'll
Okay.
message.
Yes, you can, Jump Freak.
So Araya with the 603 grass exit. Usually for PB attempts, people try to keep it to a solid sub 6 is usually the cutoff. But 603 grass exit for a race is very good. Especially considering that they pick up the PC potion. Stringshell, you want to explain the Nidoran manip here?
Sure. So when you hard reset in the game, the RNG values are set to a consistent value, and therefore if you do the same inputs after a hard reset, you can manipulate which RNG outcome you're gonna get.
So here you see Araya getting the Nidoran that he wants. Stringflow here is actually a manip maker. You want to talk about which ones you've made and how you go about making them?
I've made this extended manip, which Araya is hopefully going to execute right now. You have to hit all these text boxes frame perfectly to enter the grass at a consistent time. And hopefully he will get a Pidgey here.
So that should be path 5 here.
Yeah, you can buffer all the text boxes in a 4-frame window, except for the nickname stuff. You can't buffer that, so you have to go as fast as possible and then hope you hit one of the known paths. But Araya didn't seem like he got one, or maybe it was IGT.
He got
So
a
IGT
fake path 5, yeah.
I see. I can also explain IGT right now. Basically, sometimes, depending on the IGT frame that your save has, the RNG manipulation can fail. Yeah, it's just an unfortunate quirk in the code of this game. So there's 60 frames in a second, therefore there's 60 possible IGT frames you can save on, and most manips are around 90% to 95% to work.
We actually saw no successful triples there.
Yeah, I would have guessed, like, going into this race, there's at least one Pidgey on the screen, but...
Oh yeah. I
It
mean,
happens.
WaveWarrior gets it on his attempts all the time, and Araya's been getting it every single race, so I would have expected that too. That's unfortunate.
There's pressure, there's IGT, there's
Money on the line, just
That's
making
something
everyone nervous.
that we should probably talk about. This is all the racers are guaranteed $100 for their placement already. So first place is essentially a race for $400, making this the most lucrative Pokemon Red race of all time.
I thought it was 500.
Well, right, but they're all guaranteed 100 already. So they're
okay,
playing
yeah, okay. I see.
for 4. And second place would get what, 300?
Yeah, 300, and then first place gets 500.
And then Poke Guy gets 100 also.
Well, unless they were to somehow race world record here.
It's already getting tough, honestly,
Oh,
to
yeah.
beat that time.
Pokeguy's
Based
run
on,
is really good.
we
with
see a
the
Pikachu, level 3.
Yeah,
We're chilling.
you can run from those. If it's level 5, which is a 1% encounter slot, you can fail to run and it can Thunder Shock you, and it does a lot of damage.
Oh,
He's
Araya
good.
going for the wow. So there is a end of forest into I believe Route 2 manip to get a Pidgey that he failed to get through the extended manip.
Yes, he must have seen bad special on the Squirtle, and therefore he attempts to go through this manipulation to have a Pidgey for the Brock fight, which on bad special can sometimes just kill you, but you can sacrifice the Pidgey.
Yeah, so it's gonna allow him to not save for Brock, and he won't have to catch any bird on at the end of Route 3, which can sometimes be really annoying because you can get Jigglypuffs. WaveWarrior also going for it.
So that is news to me, but that strat is actually super amazing because Brock with bad special is really annoying and scary because there's a situation where you just die and there's actually nothing you can do about it. So
if you have bad special, then it'll take 3 shots to kill the Onyx, and if he bides before you're doing your first shot, he can just kill you, and there's nothing you could do about it. You just lose so much time.
really cool, actually. That's something else we could talk about. Is I don't know if that strat was born from this whole race, but like a safer, more consistent route has come out of this tournament, honestly, as a result of people being frustrated with like the inconsistency of the mid and late game and the early game in this game. So it's been cool to see that kind of develop.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's been brought from this tournament. So WSOP's has been making a lot of different routes. I feel like WSOP, there was a point where he had a new route every 2 to 3 days. Just new like shopping, new menuing, new item pickups, and now we're sitting at this really like nice refined route that a lot of people are using for attempts and for races.
Quelaagging getting a nice little Brock fight there. Full HP. Well, short bide, not what you want to see on Horizon with bad special, but
Alright, Quay in the lead. Actually, I think Quay doesn't have any bird though.
Yeah, he does not.
Oh, that crit. Healing from 13.
Wow.
Interesting. Yeah, he had good enough defense. I don't think he had to heal outside of 1 in 39, but I may be wrong on that. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that crit was actually really good for him.
Is it time to explain badge boosts?
Yeah, we can explain badge boost too. But yeah, no, I'm talking about through the Screech. I'm fairly sure that he did not have to heal there, and that the crit was actually super clutch. It's a slight mistake from Araya. Okay, so Quelaagging entering Route 3 here. There's an interesting mechanic that happens with stat boosts. When you get a certain trainer's badge, 4 of the gym leaders, you get a buff to one of your stats. Brock's badge gives attack, and that boost is 12.5% 9 over 8. However, when one of your stats have to be recalculated through the use of a move like, say, String Shot, which you have to recalculate your speed when that occurs, the badge boost is reapplied, so you actually get 2 of them. So, for example, the Weedle is going to hit String Shot here and Quelaagging, and his attack's actually going to go up again. He's going to be doing more damage. And understanding and making use of that to try to save turns with Tackle to preserve Horn Attack PP is really important on Route 3.
I don't know if you've mentioned it, but the badge boosts all vanish when you level up, except for the base one that you have.
Right, because your stats are being recalculated, and it's doing it correctly, I guess, right, when you level.
Yeah.
Quelaagging getting Tackle miss there, it could have actually been problematic because he would have either had to use 2 potions or been kind of low HP for the next fight, but got a pretty clutch String Shot.
Quay heading into the short sky fight, which is a pretty notorious fight for either outright killing you or just wasting a bunch of time. The Ekans knows a move called Wrap, and it basically locks you for 2 to 5 turns, and it just wastes a bunch of time.
It's also worth noting that, tackling the rat here. Oh, sorry, okay, I just looked like a tackle. I'm silly. That would have been kind of crazy. It's worth noting that the manipulated Nidoran, the perfect stat Nidoran that we get from doing RNG manip, makes this fight infinitely better. Really unfortunate wrap here from Quelaagging. This fight, you used to be able to be 2-shot by a tail whip, like from 2 attacks from full HP from the Rattata. You could be slower than the Ekans, so you could actually be infinite wrapped. Things were like ranges and stuff. Wow, another wrap. Unlucky. Crit irrelevant there since he was already leered. Unlucky 2-turn there as well. He could have gotten red bar.
Yeah. The thing is, if he did get a 3-turn, that would be a big risk if you were to just go for it from there. So.
Yeah, so if you take Poison Sting from the Weedle, then you're dead to a crit from the Caterpie, which is quite scary, and considering he was in the lead, he probably would have had to heal. Araya wrapped.
Yeah, also healing.
Gets a 2-turn. Unlucky. I mean,
I
guess it's good.
It's wrapped as well. WaveWarrior healing already on the Rattata.
Whoa, messed up a buffer there. Scary. It could have been Pokeball use if I understand what his mistake was correctly. But I guess that would have been acceptable.
Oh, WaveWarrior with the Leer fail! Gen 1
wow.
miss. You guys want to explain Gen 1 miss?
Yeah, so there's a 1 in 256 chance to miss any move in Gen 1 because the game is comparing accuracy as a value out of 255. But the game uses a greater than sign rather than a greater than or equal to sign when making that comparison. So 100% accuracy move is supposed to check for, is the number that the game rolls to see if you hit or not greater or equal to than 0, but it's a greater than sign. So if you roll exactly 0 out of 255, the move misses, even though there shouldn't be a reason for it to. And when WaveWarrior got that there on Leer, which actually made the fight a lot worse for him. That was unfortunate.
There's nothing worse than Gen 1 missing Horn Attack, though, because that just... On Route 3, that could make you have to lose, say, up to 3 Horn Attacks on Metapods when they start hardening. So Quay here is going to have to catch the bird at the end of Route 3. The other 2 racers already have their Pidgey, so they're going to, I think, get ahead here of him, because that'll take him a bit. Not too much, so it should be around 23 seconds, according to WSOP.
Quelaagging with a really nice crit on the Metapod there. I believe that saved at least 2 turns. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, or 2 tops, but yeah. Good crit at any rate. Wait, is Quelaagging doing...
Yes, he is.
Not Route 3 moon? I see.
Yeah.
Is he not hitting extended ever, or?
I don't think he goes for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see. So he's learned. So he still has this manip since he catches his bird here. Okay.
So there's actually 2 manip choices you can do for Mount Moon. One of them starts in the grass, like Araya's gonna counter. Araya's gonna save in the style and then do the similar manip to Quelaagging, picking up the Water Gun TM, a Rare Candy, a Mega Punch TM, and the Moonstone, and then getting a Paris right in front of the next fight. And because he saves on Route 3, you can actually manipulate some of this grass to give him no encounter, since he doesn't need one, because he already caught his Pidgey. And that just saves a little bit of time.
However, he got an encounter, on the very last tile that he possibly could have, because that's the tile the manip starts. Unlucky.
Or I can actually tell if he had 2 of the bad IGT frames by looking at these NPCs here. That one seemed like it was the correct pattern, and this NPC should look up, which he does. So he already avoided 2 of the bad IGT frames.
So most of the IGT frames for this move manip occur around the hiker. So there's a backup manip called made by Poi that we just call Poi manip on the ladder, and that allows him to get the Paris if they were to get an IGT earlier in Moon. And it's a really good backup strat for races because if you were to resave, that could lose like a minute 20.
It's also worth noting that these runners are not just walking in a straight path, they are also pressing the A button on certain tiles, which makes the game check for if they interact with a map object or a sign or whatever, and it lags the game by exactly 2 frames. That is just to advance the RNG to a favorable state where you can get no encounters.
The whole thing is based on the fact that RNG is based on time, so the A presses are actually a crucial element of like why manips work and are able to be made consistently and fast, because it's a way to consistently be able to change the time at which you take certain actions, and it just opens up a world of like customization for building a manip that works. The other way to do that is to open the start menu. Like a bufferable way to do that is to open the start menu and close it, but that's much slower than losing 2 frames from an A press.
Yeah, I believe in Mount Moon it costs 54 frames to open the start menu and close it. So Quelaagging getting his Paris encounter here, and he's hopefully gonna YOLO ball it. There's also an IGT on that, but he does get it.
Nice. Let's see if Araya gets his. Do you have to hit that wild Paris appeared text box, buffer that, and then buffer the ball toss, which is completely free if you understand how it's done. Both got the Paris. That's good to see.
So just like with the extended manip that we mentioned earlier, the frame window for Paris catch is 4 frames.
For the text box, yeah.
Yeah. And then the bag is like really, what is it like? It's like much larger, right?
It's hard to even define it as a frame window because you just hold the button for a long time, and then you have a huge window to switch from holding down an A to holding down A and B if it's in slot 2. Supersonic fail.
WaveWarrior also getting the Paris.
Wait, was that a Gen 1 miss and did double supersonic fail? Is that what I've just seen?
I was not looking.
At Quelaagging? I believe that is what I just saw, yeah. That was actually crazy. He's very lucky to have not gotten trolled more than that. But warranted considering the Gen 1 miss. Leech life to 8 looks like a Oh, he's not healing. Oh, because he saved. But
saved,
still.
yep.
But still. Okay.
Oh, is he gonna go through?
Takes a heal. He's lucky he's not tail whipped. He can attack in here at least once.
Oh, hitting
Hurts
himself.
For 9+, yeah, it's gonna have to be another potion if he wants to commit to it. He's only got 1 potion left. That's so bad.
What
Horn
I've seen
attack.
some players do is just YOLO it if they were in a situation like that because they had to save. But yeah, down to 1 potion could be troublesome for the rest of the run, especially because he might lose that.
Yeah, it's actually worth noting that that can be one benefit to doing the strat that Quelaagging did, where he weakened and caught a Pidgey rather than doing a manipulation for a full HP one, because in that situation you can actually switch to the Pidgey and then it can die in like 1 or maybe 2 leech lives if you weakened it enough to get rid of the confusion. That was a mistake I actually made in my own race, not doing that, because I didn't realize until after that I could have. But in that case, if you switch out to your Pidgey or another Pokemon to get rid of the confusion, it takes too long to die, so you have to split experience, and that just doesn't cut it. You can't lose the XP. Quelaagging missing his very first Mega Punch, as is tradition. Nice. Hits the range on the Voltorb. That's quite unlikely. 1 in 4-ish. A little slow on that crit text box, Quelaagging. Gotta work on that.
Wow, nice patronize.
So, see if Quelaagging makes it through the last stretch here, and either way, he will be the first one to make it out of Moon. So our pre-race hype is actually coming true here. We see Quelaagging
The
coming out.
underdog. All three runners executing though. This except for extended manip, they're all at least got the moon manip. They're making overall the right choices. So the nerves aren't hitting them too hard, I think.
Yeah,
at least in the product. They might be going crazy though.
Honestly, at least for me, having done these races and stuff, I would say that the scariest part is behind them. It's like the big disaster scenarios that like can commonly happen are generally behind them. I guess the last one would be Misty Death, but Araya getting another encounter on the way out, and it's the slowest cry. I know you couldn't quite hear it, but that is the slowest encounter he could have gotten. Paris' cry is no joke. We see WaveWarrior and Araya exiting with around 2640 moon.
See if both of them hop the ledge on the correct tile to save 1 frame.
Yeah, I don't know about any of that nonsense, but we'll see, I guess.
But you said the little things that add up.
You're right.
Both of them did.
Okay, today I learned how to save 1 frame. Thank you.
So at this point, you're gonna see the runners have instant text, which they obtain by talking to the guy in the bike shop and exiting that menu with B. It's not considered a glitch, and it's allowed in Glitchless. And it's been allowed for about like a year and a half, I would say.
Ooh, getting a crit from PG. Oh, and another quick attack. This is getting
Not
kind of monk
sand
ass.
attacks though, so
You're right. That's very good, but you know, as far as survival in the long run, we're getting a little sketchy here. You might have to make some slow and interesting decisions here, because this is kind of what I'm talking about. So Quelaagging has the lead here, and yeah, he's taking a ton of damage here, so he's pretty likely to have to make a play that loses him a lot of time, because if you heal during instant text, you lose instant text. So, like, if Quelaagging gets Vine Whip here, he's almost guaranteed to have to heal at some point. Tackle.
yeah, so you lose instant text by opening the bag, opening the Pokemon menu, or just clicking start in the overworld, or answering a yes/no.
Quelaagging also Mega Punching there in turn 3. That was definitely a mistake. Corn attack would have killed.
And because we can't
Wait for
open
it
a
getting
menu,
the sand attack.
that is like the entire reason why you pick up Mega Punch in the first place. Simply to get a move to last through the section until Bill. The strat without instant text was to candy twice on Nugget Bridge to get the move Thrash, which does the exact same thing but better. But since you want to preserve the high instant text as long as possible, Mega Punch is the desirable option.
Yep. Learning Thrash kills it, so you gotta have a move to make it all the way through. And Araya switching to Horn Attack after getting Leech Seated. WaveWarrior got Sand attacked, but made it through with very high health considering, so interesting.
So-
really... Go ahead.
Quay on... Oh, he gets a sand attack. So he is on pretty low HP, but if he were to make it through, he could get to Mankey and Horn Attack it and get Red Bar, which would be a really big play, but it would really put him ahead since he would have Red Bar for Route 25.
He's taking too much. He's still okay to continue for now, but he's taking too much damage.
He's going back.
Red Bar happens when you're under 48 of your max HP, and the warning sound plays, and it overrides some of the jingles, or it overrides Shingles and Pokemon Cries. Lets you just play through them, and it saves a bunch of time.
So I guess.
No, go ahead.
I guess Quelaagging was scared of Mega Punch miss into double quick attack from the rat because he could have had red bar for that fight like relatively safely and then gone back. But I guess it doesn't make that much of a difference.
So now Araya's in the lead because Quay had to go back.
He did the same thing. It's funny because in my race, I talked to a trainer I'd already fought, and he tried to walk past a trainer he hadn't fought yet.
Didn't buffer the text box as a result of that. SMH.
Happens.
Actually, Quay is still ahead despite having to go back for instant text. Slightly ahead.
So Quelaagging made a safe play. He decided to heal, loses instant text, go pick it back up again, missing another range there. He missed the Pidgey range as well. And so now the race is very close between the first two. Or really, all three of them, yeah.
Yeah, they're all in the same fight.
Yeah, I hadn't been watching WaveWarrior screen, but yeah, it's crazy, actually, super close.
Wow, they're all entering the same fight. So close.
What a finals.
So now that Stringflow explained red bar, there are multiple places where you can get red bar. Traditionally, people in PB attempts and even in races will go for fly red bar, especially if the race is close. Fly split has some good places to get red bar that saves a lot of time. However, in later game, in Silphco, you can get red bar, and that's super risky. But at this state in the tournament, one of them might go for it to get that big win and get the $500.
It's a rough risk, man. You're something like 50% to die if you do the whole thing. You do have revives on the struts, but nice poison sting there from Quelaagging.
Worked in this tournament. Everyone that's gone for it, that's had a chance to win the race, has just really paid for it. So I don't know. It's lost almost every time.
Just to put into perspective how important and how fast red bar is, the fly split, I believe, consists of 8 fights, and having red bar for all of them saves close to a minute.
It's really only 8. Feels like so much more. But yeah, it saves an enormous amount of time skipping Pokemon Cries and level up jingles and whatnot, but very risky.
Wow, they're all right there. This is insane.
Yeah, this is we can see some execution start to maybe have some people take the lead.
I believe none of them is in red bar, so this is gonna come down almost purely to instant text buffering.
Yeah, there's a lot of different techniques to quickly get through the text boxes when you're in instant text. A lot of buffering. We see WaveWarrior getting a crit there, but was ready for it and buffered through all the text boxes.
Fun fact: I recently coached Quay through all of instant text, so I hope he won't let me down here.
I've seen him struggling a little bit with some of the text boxes, but he does at least understand it. Not understanding how to buffer through instant text can lose you a lot of time. Araya getting a crit on the female Nidoran end there, actually solidifying a lead for him. So we actually used to fight the top trainer here, but due to a reroute, this route actually fights 0 optional trainers in the entire run. As in, it doesn't fight any trainers that you aren't forced to fight to complete the game. So the top guy has 2 Pokemon, the bottom guy has 4 Pokemon that give more XP, and they all die in one hit except the Machop is a very likely damage range to die to Mega Punch. So, oh wow.
Yeah, I believe it's about 92.5% or something like that.
Well, Quelaagging missed it, as I said that. Very nice commentator's curse. Hate to see it, hate to see it.
The previous routes for option trainers either Mount Moon or North 3. And it's very, very critical to get enough experience to get level 25 for this Misty Starmie to outspeed her. And you make up the lost experience by not fighting the optional trainers, by fighting that trainer and fighting the Dick Rocket earlier than it's optimal, and therefore you barely get level 25 for the Starmie.
And that level 25 for the Starmie is beyond crucial. It's absolutely necessary. Like Stringflow said, you outspeed it, and considering it can do like 70 plus damage with a critical to you, that's very important. And it also, I say, guarantees the 2-shot. It's not actually guaranteed. It's only 99% to 2-shot the Starmie, but
I've actually never missed that before. I've seen Pokémon miss it. I've actually never seen anyone miss it live. It's really rare.
I have missed it in on a good yellow run before. It does exist, but it's very, very unlikely, especially considering any crit guarantees it even through X defend.
Quay and WaveWarrior with the almost sync.
Ooh, very close. Very close. Araya got some solid luck there towards the end of that route, but there's pretty low variance on the split overall when you're playing safe.
So Araya will be going for the center here, which is a really safe strat because it puts you at full health and it gives you all your Mega Punches back. So if you were in red bar, you would really want those Mega Punches because it allows you to have a safer fly split and a safer boat rival.
Yep, and it's also worth noting that Araya is essentially forced to make this decision here because he only had one potion left, and not only does he need that potion to occupy his inventory for menu management later in the run, but I mean, he really wants to have it in case of an emergency. WaveWarrior with 4 potions was able to potion up to a safe HP to skip the center, and we see that he made up a bit of time on Quelaagging, who was synced on him before the center.
Yeah, so this is what I was talking about with the Dick Rocket. It's actually faster to fight him after the Misty fight, because it's just faster movement, but you have to get the experience. It's absolutely crucial.
Yeah, both of these Pokemon are also damage ranges instead of being nearly guaranteed. That Machop is like less than half to die. Araya getting that range too.
Yeah.
And I know for a fact that Drowsy's 94 because yes, I've missed 94. It so many times. And if you miss either of the range, or if you miss both of the ranges rather, then you have to go for a 4-turn Thrash. Thrash either lasts 3 or 4 turns, and after the 3rd or 4th turn, 50-50 chance, it confuses you. And if you miss both ranges, that adds up to 4 turns, so...
You can also hypnosis you, and that's just... It's really ugly then.
That's pretty much rip. He can kill you too with confusion. Your HP here is kind of fragile if you don't take the center. Ryo getting the peck. Nice. He actually tanks a Bubble Beam critical from this health, so only critical Speedfall or X defend into 4-turn Thrash Confusion shenanigans. Control him here.
Oh, supersonic fail.
Oh, that can be
really bad. Yeah.
So bad, because you again, if you exit, if you open the menu to heal, then you lose instant text. So, getting hurt to an HP where Misty becomes a vulnerable fight for you is really scary. Araya with a crit into Bubble Beam. Nice. That is a very solid health for a race. No critical, no speed fall is exactly what he wanted to see there.
Wow, WaveWarrior and Araya separated by 1 HP and about like 2 seconds here.
And I somehow completely missed WaveWarrior's fight, but all 3 runners making it past Misty. That's really good to see. That's one of the few fights that you can't really play around as far as safety that has a decent chance to kill you. So for the finals, I'm personally very happy to see that no one died to Misty. We have no Moon IGTs, no Misty deaths. All the Route 3 extendeds failed, but that's okay because we have a good race on our hands here. And we do see Mr. Consistency himself pretty much tied up with WaveWarrior, but he does have the slightest of Araya. Quelaagging, not lagging too far behind.
Nice.
Nice.
So we're approaching Boat Rival, which is like a really famous race for killing good runs. It has Sand Attack, which would be one of the few things that could really cause these runners to lose a lot of time. Because if they were Sand Attack, that would mean that they were likely to have to swap out, and swapping out also loses instant text. Potioning also in that case loses instant text, so Boat Rival could really switch things up here.
WSOP with an interesting little tidbit there. He said that this is the first race of the tournament he thinks that has all 3 runners with a sub 40 Misty, which means that this finals is the highest quality race that we've seen so far at this point, which is really cool to see, right? It's not the finals for no reason. I actually looked into compiling some information about that kind of stuff, but the VODs are kind of scattered.
So these fights are really critical. These 2 fights and Boat Rival are really important because they set up red bar for Fly. So typically in a PB attempt or in a race where you're trying to get ahead, you would want to get red bar at the end of Boat Rival or during Boat Rival so that you can just thrash the Voltorb on Surge and then have red bar for the entire Fly split.
These runners are at a reasonable HP for such a setup. We'll see how that turns out. Araya probably in the scariest spot, having 1 potion. I didn't actually catch Quelaagging's potion count. WaveWarrior has 2 currently. So
Wave
he's
should have a good
okay.
amount of potion considering he centered as well.
Poor Araya forced to center with 1. It's so bad to have 1. That's actually something that you should definitely keep on lookout for, even in as far as the Elite Four. Araya's missing that text box, interesting. Araya having 1 potion is going to make a difference in this race, I'm calling. Whether that's, you know, him having to make a close call later or something. Starting off by
getting the crit.
Right, crits Pidgeotto. He has Sand Attack, so that's really good. WaveWarrior getting
a nice gust. Yeah.
No quick attack there. Could have been scary if he got a quick attack. Let's see. WaveWarrior's... Ooh.
Oh, Quake getting
Hyper Fang is scary. Down to 15 health.
Wow.
Oh, no, WaveWarrior! He gets quick attack crit on the last turn. He's in a spot where he has to consider...
Is he going to go for it?
No, he's definitely going to potion here.
Potion, right?
He's getting the level up jingle. Yeah, goes for the potion. You can't risk that. Leech Seed is slow there, unfortunate. But he might get a good HP setup if he gets Vine Whip here. He gets a crit. Crit's probably the most consistent way to go about that, and he's not going to be too unhappy about it because he did only have 1 potion left, and now he doesn't have to worry about a Surge Death, and Sonic Boom gives him good red bar. So Quelaagging actually having to switch out there. Really wants a Vine Whip here from the Ivysaur, considering he's a bit behind here. And I believe someone said he had 3 potions, so he should be okay for a Disaster Center. Even the low roll Vine Whip is good here. No crits. Oh, he gets the 9. He gets. That's actually 1 in 39. Or no, it does 8 to 10. 8 to 10. Not 7. Okay, got too excited. But yeah, so Quelaagging has what is considered almost perfect HP for a world record attempt. Maybe a little scary in a race, but
yeah, he has really. It's really significant that he got that HP because WaveWarrior still had to swap out, and he doesn't even have the great HP. If things go right for Quay, he could really save a lot of time over these 2 racers if they decide not to go for red bar. I've heard some people talking about Araya potentially skipping red bar here.
Yeah. See, this is where someone asked this question before. How does stream sniping help? This is a crucial moment in the race where these runners need to make decisions about how they're going to play the next split based on what their opponent's position in the race is. Quelaagging, he has to consider how confident he is in his execution compared to the other runners, how far behind he is, and what his current HP setup is to go for that setup. He doesn't actually have to go for it at all. He already has the red bar, so I'm assuming he's going to try to let it ride and risk the surge death.
So at the Vermilion Mart, you saw WaveWarrior was, I believe, the only one to... We'll see if Quaid does it, but he did a new 6 repel route that was developed by WSOP, and it allows him to buy fewer super repels and buy 2 Pokédolls. It's really cool because it saves a lot of inputs in the menu later in the run.
Araya getting a successful cans manip there. That is a similar RNG manip to the ones we saw earlier in the run. That's when just to manipulate perfect cans, which is overwhelmingly worth it on average because red cans are pretty unlikely to go your way. Very simple and easy manip, but it does have a small chance to fail, which can leave you in an unfortunate position.
Yeah, I believe the static manipulation is 58 and 60 to fail, to work. There are manipulations that are 59 and 60 out of 60 respectively, but they lose enough time to warrant not going for them.
Interesting. I think...
So Araya did get Sonic Boom.
Yeah, I believe he got a good enough Bubble Beam roll to go for a second one, but it doesn't make that much of a difference.
So Quelaagging going for the Pallet Cans manip, which is a 59 out of 60 manip. It is my favorite, personally. So I will praise him for this.
Oh, I think he might have failed it because he just said lol in chat. Or maybe he got IGT'd on the 59. Okay, I don't know. He just said lol for now.
Oh, because people are patronizing him for using the pallet cans.
Oh, I see. Well, I'm going to patronize him for the palette he chose, not for the cans themselves.
Well, I think that's the point of it. You get to see in Rock Tunnel if you use this palette specifically.
Yeah, you'll get to see the difference.
So
he is going for the 10 HP. This is a scary moment for him.
Oh, it misses the range. He's gonna have to swap.
I believe Quick Attack kills from 10 with Screech?
Okay.
Oh no, it only does 6.
So he's gonna have to swap here.
I was thinking crit does 7, so... Wow, that only did 6? Am I crazy?
He did get the 4 turn. If he crit, that would have been perfect, but having a swap here so that he could not hit himself into death.
Wait, so Screech Quick Attack did less than crit Quick Attack usually does. That's interesting. But all the runners pass Surge at least.
So Koi here with a perfect HP. If he survives everything first try, this is really good for him. Because he's going to have that sweet red bar the whole way.
He'll have it all the way to the heel pad, baby. All the way. So he'll definitely get to make up some time from that if he makes it out okay. It's some scary fights ahead. Yeah, Rai definitely has some decisions to make. He doesn't have that much of a lead on WaveWarrior, and he should be aware of WaveWarrior's HP as well. Rai going for the safe Mega Punch instead of having to get a 4-turn Thrash here.
So Chad making a good point. Since Quay is going to be really low HP, he's going to have to save for the Oddish and Rock Tunnel, whereas the others don't have to because they're going to be higher HP and can afford to... I believe they just Thunderbolt turn 1 and then they can just Paralyze Heal. So they save some time by not having to save.
Yeah, and Araya has a pretty Well, we'll see how he plays it, but he could choose to have a pretty stress-free spell here. WaveWarrior actually going for the 4-turn Thresh, getting confused there. Maybe feeling a little pressure to build a bit of the time that he's lost here. That fight is quite scary for world record attempts, but if you have Mega Punch, it's usually okay. All right, Quelaagging begins his run. Oh, he misses the Mega Punch.
Misses the Mega Punch. That's so bad. Well, that's what we have Paralyze Heals for.
That's, yep, don't, he could die. Oh, he could die here. Don't do it. He's got to make a tough decision. He's thinking about it. He goes for the Mega Punch. Okay, he's going to be safe.
You saw he stuttered a little bit.
Yeah, he did. He did have to think. He did, and that was worth thinking about. I think for sure.
Oh, he potions.
He potions.
Wait, what?
That seems very confusing to me. So he actually, outside of a Gen 1 miss, was 100% to be fine there, and actually let himself get wrapped because of it. I can't. That was definitely a misplay.
Yeah, if he wanted to elect to potion, then he should have done it on the Oddish, which is...
Now, we should praise him for his genius. He does have some pretty good health now, but it did cost him a lot of what it saves.
So I believe he accidentally used Mega Punch on the Bellsprout. I think he's supposed to use Thrash there.
Well, but that was the first Bellsprout, right? So he wanted to punch to not have to 4-turn Thrash?
Oh, no. No, he Mega Punched the Oddish, and then there are 3 Pokemon left, and he didn't Thrash, I think?
Yeah, I don't know what he...
I'm confused.
But anyway, he knows he goofed. We're good. Moving on.
Oh, he just potioned before going for Thrash. Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, what happened to WaveWarrior? I didn't look.
I didn't actually.
So yeah,
WaveWarrior
got confused.
Oh,
so he swaps. Very unfortunate, but he does pick up Red Bar. He lost a lot of what it saves to achieve it, unfortunately.
Alright, I got a very clean Red Bar setup though.
He did?
Yeah.
He did. Did he save for this fight? I'm assuming. With that 9 health, he must have. You can die to either Pokemon there. So it gets a clean fight. Both are damage ranges. Oddish is less than 50% to die. And Bulbasaur is like.
So
85.
all 3 runners in Red Bar here for the rest of the cave.
See Araya using a repel there before his repel wears out to avoid the repel wears out text box. And does it again there. Interesting spot to repel. Never seen that. WaveWarrior going for his Thrash. Also gets the crit. Nice. Very scary Oddish. Dunswore and Sleep Powder. And gets the Bulbasaur as well. Raya with the stat skip in Red Bar. Not super easy.
You can see on the gray screen here, the palette that he chose renders all the sprites.
Yes, the palette that he chose allows him to cheat, which is why it's called Cheater Palette. WaveWarrior with a much more reasonable repel tile, my boy. Interesting that we see all 3 runners eventually ending up with Red Bar in the split. I don't know how many races turned out this way, but the races I participated in at least did not look like this. I guess it's maybe more of a necessity in this case. All 3 runners so close. And some of the newer strats allowing to be a little bit more aggressive with it overall.
So that Max Ether pickup is a really new strat in all this routing. In Red, we used to never pick up this Max Ether. It used to just be a yellow thing.
Okay, I just gotta point this out. Because of the tile that Araya repelled on, he actually wound up making a movement error after after Rock Tunnel. So I was not patronizing for no reason. And WaveWarrior makes it out. We have definitely seen a larger split between the runners. And oh, look at WaveWarrior with that perfect little corner repel. Oh, I love it. Oh, we see Araya going for the top elixir.
The big boy elixir.
Big boy elixir. Or do we see the
Saves
big
a
boy
turn
nugget?
frame.
Oh no! He does save it though. He does save. It does save a few frames to grab those from the, or I mean, even a bit more actually, because when you do both, to grab them from above and below. But you have to be very precise with the tile you pick it up for. Quelaagging exiting 45 seconds behind WaveWarrior. Just hop the ledge. Araya starting his big boy shopping trip. Pretty staple in Pokemon speedruns. You got to go to the shop to get the items you need, but you only want to do it once, so you make a big old purchase. Oh! Are you kidding me?
Wow.
That is unbelievable.
It must be one of the most.
What? What? I can't believe
That
it.
is actually
That
insane.
Growlithe is about, what, 91%, I believe?
Okay, so that was actually insane. So Quelaagging missed the 90% range on the Growlithe, got crit by a damaging move, which it also knows non-damaging moves, then switched to his Paris to try to get the KO, and Gen 1 missed the move. Incredible. So that essentially puts Quelaagging out of the running. There's no real way to make up this time unless
something insane happens.
but the other runners have just purchased their revives, so it's pretty hard for something that catastrophic to happen. He was actually one fight away from making it to the godsend revives. That's so unfortunate. Gen 1 missaved him time. My man Pokeguy does not believe in Paris to take down Vulpix. That's rough. Sorry, Paris. So either WaveWarrior or Araya, overwhelmingly likely to have just made several $100s from that range miss into miss from, or Gen 1 miss from Quelaagging. The stakes are high. Araya starting his big menu here. He's going to reorganize the items in his menu, teach TMs and such in an optimal way to get everything flowing for quick speedrunning type maneuvers later in the run.
So both runners are here in red bar, right?
I believe that they are, yes. I got kind of... Oh, he misses the range again.
Wow.
Thrash this time. And crits on turn 2, of course.
Thrash, I think, is 66%. So scary fight here for Araya. Gets the quick attack. That means he's gonna have to potion on Growlithe.
That is unfortunate, but he's got enough of a lead to definitely be okay.
Oh, that's his last potion.
Yo, that is his last potion. He might actually decide to go for it here and revive. I think that's probably the correct play, considering it's his last potion. Yeah, he does go ahead.
All right.
Good call there.
So he's a little bit favored to survive this here. Just a little bit.
He actually... Yeah, so his only outs are he's got a 50-50 to die to Vine Whip here, and he can also crit.
Oh, he gets the Vine Whip.
Takes the death. Very unfortunate. That's gonna, I believe, put WaveWarrior in the lead. It'll be close. Unfortunate death.
WaveWarrior is.
Oh, and the leech
He is
seed.
in red
Oh,
bar.
look at this 50-50 trolling. I hate Ivysaur. He is such a troll.
Wow.
So he has lost 4 50-50s that were like pretty impactful. Finally gets the Vine Whip. That was super, super unfortunate.
The alternative to this play was to potion and pick up an extra item. I believe the Awakening and Pokemon Tower is the fastest item to pick up.
Yeah, but it does mess up your item management,
Yeah, it
and
does.
it was much faster to go this way. Interesting risk that he took there, considering, but still a very close race. The red bar will only last for one more fight, so this is just about as close as it looks. Araya might look back on that decision and wonder if it was correct, considering the play. I'm not saying it was wrong, but definitely a point to look at for how this race plays out. And I did say that one potion would make a difference in this race. I did call that at Boat Rival, and there we saw that he was actually priced in to not potioning because he only had one left.
So Quelaagging here had to buy 3 repels again to get through Rock Tunnel, and now he doesn't really know what to buy in the shop because he's running out of money.
And we saw Araya miss at least one rock slide. I was looking at Quelaagging's shopping because it was interesting, but he did lose a bit of time over WaveWarrior there. So both runners on equal HP now because the heal pad forces you to heal to full. Red bar not going to be in play for a little while. So we see that was a 102.19, and so Araya is about 8 seconds, maybe 9 seconds behind WaveWarrior right now. Very, very heated race for first place.
So coming up is Sylph Rival in a few minutes. Do you think either runner would take red bar if the setup is perfect?
I don't think we'll see that here. I think that both runners are going to know that it's a little too close to go for something like that, and that there's a better. It's better to take an E4 risk than to go for that. Maybe at worst we'll see a Rhyhorn stall or something, but not full on red bar.
So you see WaveWarrior not having to menu to teach Horn Drill, since I think he did do early drill teach on fly menu, and Araya having to lag behind a little bit and teach it right now.
Ooh, WaveWarrior almost messing up the swap there, but not actually pressing the button. He was swapping items in his inventory to a favorable position. And if you mess up one of those swaps and swap the wrong item up, it can actually lose a lot of time. So Spike can be counter troll. The Golbat is only 90-ish% to die to Thunderbolt, and it knows
it's a
Supersonic and
route-induced
Confuser.
range.
Yeah, an unfortunate side effect of the way that the level ups and stat XP work out.
Misses the range. Confuse Ray.
He's gonna switch to Bubble Beam here. He tries to switch to Bubble Beam and
Hits
manips
through.
the no hit through, and so that pretty much ties it up with that Marine to miss into slight menuing mistake.
WaveWarrior only about a second or two ahead.
Here gets the famous small hit here.
Not even 2 full seconds ahead. Tackle? Oh, I thought we were gonna see.
Araya getting the
there.
smog. So Araya will be going up a little bit further here. The Smog is a pretty slow move.
It is, and not very effective text box as well. Something else to consider. And that we haven't really talked about. You do want to avoid extra text boxes as much as possible, which is funny because Horn Drill always has a text box, but and can actually have a not very effective text box as well. But very worth it in spite of that.
Yeah, and that's gonna start coming up a lot in fights like Sabrina, where you can just be critting and infinitely be getting extra text boxes, and that could lose you a good amount of time over the run if you keep getting crits, just like unnecessary ones.
This fight also features damage range on Raticate. It's not particularly important, considering that you do have to take a center after this to set your dig waypoint to that spot. Also, 2 quick attack Pokemon. Quite an annoying fight, honestly. Wow. So many quick attack. Wow, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. Oh my god. No, Self Bar does not even remotely close to 5 Self Bars would not save him here. Unfortunately. Quelaagging suffered a death that you just can't recover from, and he didn't make any sort of error to have that happen, which is the unfortunate nature of these races sometimes. Especially since we were past the worst of it, and like I said, he was one fight away from revives and avoiding all major horrible disasters. Super unfortunate to see that from Quelaagging. I feel bad.
So Quay is effectively out of this race, especially because I believe he hasn't even shopped yet. He just went to the shop and bought a couple things. He still has to go back for it. So it's really unlikely that he has a chance for even second place, considering how far back he is.
Yeah, I believe his goal is to complete this run. So good. But poor guy didn't deserve that.
Yeah, that's one of the few crazy deaths we've seen in this tournament. Pokey guy having a really insane death as well. So many of them that just take people out when they probably didn't really deserve it.
And that Smog hit really coming into play here. Quelaagging, I mean, Araya, a whole building behind WaveWarrior.
Well, also the quick attacks. But
well, they both... Yeah, WaveWarrior got 1, I think, and Araya got 2.
Yeah.
So coming up is a spot where there can be a little bit of a troll by Arbok. He can glare and force you to use some of your paralyzed heals, which could change up some of the lead here.
I imagine that when WSOP came up with the safer version of the route that involved paralyzed heals, it probably kind of stemmed from this fight. If I don't actually know where his reasoning come from, I'm just guessing, because this fight is just kind of an innocuous little fight, but it could really kill your run if you got paralyzed here without your full restore. Oh, missing the range there.
WaveWarrior getting the glare.
Into glare. And here we see, if you were to have gotten paralyzed there and you didn't have a full restore, you would just lose like a minute in previous routes, but now it's kind of a non-issue in comparison.
That fight used to be very trivial since we picked up the Earthquake TM beforehand, but that requires fighting an extra trainer.
And we do not fight extra trainers. This route is pure and honest. With absolutely no exploits whatsoever.
So Araya a little bit ahead now.
Yeah, Araya actually coming ahead from that paralyze. Oh, the audio.
And yep, the little things like that, like the paralysis, can just change the lead and determine these hundreds of dollars and just the winner of the tournament. It's crazy.
Yeah, this fight is quite scary, but only if you go for red bar, which I really don't think we're going to see here. It's not a 98, no way. Or, I mean, I guess he could heal to full with it, but definitely not going on 98.
So Araya taking some good damage here from the Pidgeot. So if you're not doing Sylph red bar, you're gonna have to hope for some hits because we intentionally die to self-destruct in Koga's gym so that we can rare candy and level up into red bar for up to Bruno, best case scenario, but guaranteed up to Lorelei. So that red bar will save a lot of time. So these runners are going to be trying to take a lot of damage up to Koga.
Gotta take enough to die to the self-destruct, and it's worth noting that red bar setup, if you can take enough damage for it, is hyper consistent and hyper safe. There's pretty much nothing outside of a Gen 1 miss that can really kill you, and you have revives even for that, though you would lose a lot of time if you had to do it. But and that consistent red bar setup that Extra Tricky and Montebank discovered originally is what solidified Nidoking as the king of this game, and would forever make him the undisputed fastest and most consistent for this route.
So I think the self-destruct range is 79 to 94. So usually runners are going to be trying to get to below 80 so that they can guarantee that death.
I believe it is actually faster to live on one or two?
Is both normal strats from there.
Araya going for a hit from Cubone, doesn't quite take it.
Oh, WaveWarrior going for the max
WaveWarrior
ether on drowsy strats. Gets the psychic hit.
And no crit.
So now he's a guaranteed death range from self-destruct.
Little scary. But
so WaveWarrior does have a history with Hypno, and I don't know. So Hypno
I have
has
personally
confusion.
Yeah. And confusion will kill you.
Yeah, Confusions by Hypno is known to kill a lot of Sylph Bar runs, and it's also if it crits, it can kill WaveWarrior here for sure.
Well, I think it doesn't. It might even kill non-crit from here. I don't exactly know. I think it kills non-crit, like 50 or.
I know the range used to be 45 to 54, but okay,
42 to 50. Okay, so it's less than I thought. So he'll. Oh, actually, this Fury. Okay, maybe some red bar here. I believe that is at least. Oh, unlucky.
Will he
I
go
think
for
he's
Rhyhorn though? That's the question.
I think this is Rhyhorn time. Yeah.
This is definitely
he is in red bar.
Rhyhorn.
He is in red bar right now, but he will pop out if he doesn't stall. He doesn't stall for the Rhyhorn because I believe, I think he could have maybe died to crit.
Yeah, crit does kill.
I didn't know I level out. What do you mean you didn't know? But he is okay even without it. He didn't realize he was going to level out of red bar there. But
usually though on that HP it's really correct to go for the Rhyhorn stall to get the red bar though, because Confusion already kills you at that point. So it's pretty much worth it to go for it and save a lot of time in Koga's gym.
Well, we should wonder, or at least think about the fact that WaveWarrior does have the lead here, and he is guaranteed to get a good death from the self-destruct. So maybe he didn't need to do it, but it could have. I mean, it had to have been worth it if you want the $500, right? You're risking crit, but you force your opponent to take a worse risk if you go for that. I feel. But I don't know. That was a tough call.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, it's just a judgment call, and if he did get crit, he was going to have some nice hindsight bias and said, well, I shouldn't have done it because of the crit, but most of the time it would have worked out for him.
It's also worth noting that I believe he would have been at the range to die to Headbutt as well as Confusion from the Hypno, so maybe he actually made the right call. I'm not quite sure. This was a tough one. I think he even tanks Headbutt. It's headbutt 25 to 29 on crit. I don't quite remember, but he might even think I headbutt crit.
So WaveWarrior will be using one of these new routes that does a PP up skip. I don't know if Araya will. Yeah, Araya going for the PP up here. So WaveWarrior will be gaining a little bit of time on him here.
Quelaagging chugging along through self-rival. Not a bad menu from WaveWarrior. Didn't do the final fast scroll, but that stuff's scary.
I'm sure at this point, WaveWarrior and Araya are both pretty shaky. They're both pretty nervous about this. These last, say, 30 minutes, 35 minutes could decide $200. So. So an interesting point was made. WaveWarrior is doing this newest route, which has a little bit of a risky Viridian rival. Usually in PB attempts, you would just X special twice. He's going to use 2 X specials and an X accuracy because you have to hit a Blizzard, which is 90% on the Venusaur. However, he can still hit it and crit, and on some rolls, the crit won't kill, and he could die to Venusaur there. So that could be a really risky portion of the run.
It appears to be that Gunner's power went out, and he will be back as soon as possible.
Gunner luck.
Indeed, Gunner luck. So also a very crucial routing point is to ensure to have the maximum capacity of your backfilled in order to skip getting the gym leader TMs, which hopefully Wave and Araya have done right now. Just skip the jingle and the text that comes after that, where the gym leader explains his special TM.
Well, so WaveWarrior is stating he might not X accuracy on the Viridian rival, depending on how close it is. So that could prove to be costly, because you would have to hit that Blizzard, which makes Venusaur only about 83% to work out, instead of like 92, 93. And I do think it would be worth it for him to X accuracy, since it doesn't even lose that much time, considering you get to Blizzard Pidgeot and the Rhyhorn on Viridian Rival. And those animations are faster than the Thunderbolt and Earthquake that you would normally use under just X Specialing.
I have returned.
Welcome back. That was some Gunner luck.
Yeah, I believe Misty actually hit my power strip. Back into this hype race. Super excited to see it so close. I was actually like really upset that I missed some of it. This is way better than I expected, and I had some pretty high expectations. Except for poor Quelaagging, I'd still feel bad. All right, here's the big boy.
Moment. Yeah.
Wants a crit.
Oh,
Gets
he
it.
gets the crit! Wow.
Gets it. That could have been race defining. That right there could have given him that lead that he needs, or solidified it.
Yeah, if he had died there, he would have had to revive, and it would have given Araya the lead for sure.
Yeah,
Temporarily, at
absolutely.
least.
And at this stage of the game, we're about to enter up all the way until the black belt. It's going to be pretty much 100% execution. There is almost nothing that can go wrong and almost no variance in the fights because of how consistent the red bar setup is and how safe it is. So Araya's gonna be most likely, because WaveWarrior's execution is up to par, he's likely gonna be pressured into making some kind of risk for first place, especially since he doesn't have to worry about losing second.
So there are some options. So there is, you want to go over some of the risk options you can take?
Yeah, so, I mean, of course, you can YOLO Lorelei. It's a 50-50 chance to save.
Saves 18 seconds, I believe.
Yeah, 18.
10 on
20,
Lorelei, 8. Yep.
Yeah. Which, yeah, involves a 50-50 and it's pretty bad risk overall because you... Well, I mean, I guess you would have your party with you, but you can YOLO Agatha, which is probably more likely what we'll see. And if you're really behind, you can YOLO Lance. All of them by not healing. So we're actually going to see the use of Rare Candy to revive here because it's increasing your max HP. So this actually works in all Pokemon generations, by the way. For you casual players. WaveWarrior feeling the nerd!
Actually, I don't think it works in Gen 7.
Really?
I think they fixed it. Or
What do you mean
quote unquote fixed? Well, they changed it, okay? Bad word choice.
Doesn't work in Gen 7? Alright, I take it back. I'm sorry. I'm not up to date with all the cool kids.
That's why Gen 7 is the worst gen. Gun Kappa. Alright, with a pretty nice surf menu here.
WaveWarrior? So WaveWarrior on its way down. Alright, with crispy surf menu. And I believe he is exactly 17 seconds behind. It's very close, if not.
WaveWarrior and Araya are about to pick up Blizzard and teach it, and it's a 90% move, but it's considered faster and safer than the older routes that would use Ice Beam instead for their for that move that they would use on Lance for the most part.
Yeah, Blizzard has 90% accuracy in Gen 1, so it's quite strong. At least there's no Australians in this race. We got ice all around. In Gen 1, Blizzard is 90%, and that's why it's used for this route.
Sure, if it were 70%, we would not use it.
WaveWarrior very carefully teaching that Blizzard.
Yeah, if he thought over the wrong move, could have easily been the race decided.
It almost certainly would have been.
So you can see here that Araya has a completely different move order than WaveWarrior. Araya's always had a little bit of a funky moveset. He has Blizzard in slot 1. He also does Thrash in slot 1. Yep.
But definitely worth noting. WaveWarrior. Audi with his spoils of a new rare candy that he'll use before Agatha to have a cleaner fight there. Talk about that more when we get there, but Raya doing the same. And as far as these fights go, I mean, you can miss a Blizzard, but you're super unlikely to die. That's pretty much the only variance that we're actually going to see here until the Black Belt fight in Giovanni's.
There can be some pretty troll moments where you get hypnosis though, and you just get put to sleep, and then you can get put to sleep for like infinite amount of turns, theoretically.
Yeah, this fight can be troll, but you just gotta hit a 90% blizzard and you're all good. And Erica, you just have to hit 1 as well, and it's not particularly punishing if you miss it. You can get wrapped, but only 5 turn kills you.
Araya also hitting the blizzard.
Critting for good measure. Except it's guaranteed, so...
There's another blizzard here coming up on Tangela. He can bind you, which could be pretty troll.
But we see WaveWarrior make it through, and yeah, I mean, not too much goes on in this fight.
Right, with the useless critical, it certainly adds up in this segment of the run.
Yeah, WaveWarrior also critting the... Wow! I believe that was like 4 crits in a row from both runners combined, maybe 3. Aw, I thought for sure we're gonna see this ripple.
So the hardest part of the run here is Blaine's questions.
Yeah, these text boxes are quite annoying, but more annoying than even the text boxes is the variable and massive lag that occurs after. You'll see how long WaveWarrior is frozen in place after this last text box
Might
here.
bonk. Oh, he did not bonk the first one, but it's really common for runners to just bonk in 3 certain spots where you can just bonk into the trainer after answering the question.
Super frustrating mechanic. See, you're right, about 2.5 questions behind here. Or 1.5. 1? I don't know. I'm crazy. I thought he was on the bottom left one. But yeah. Very close race.
In Blaine's fight, he can use Super Potion, which saves some time over his regular use of Agility by Growlithe. I believe it's 20% to use it each turn.
Yeah, most of the time the AI is programmed to only use potions under a certain threshold of HP, but for some reason Blaine's script is just set to be able to potion on any turn.
Which does save it. Oh, he does. WaveWarrior does get a
Gets
bonk
the
there.
Let's see if Araya gets his bonk.
It's hard to avoid. It's also hard to tell if you don't have the sound on.
So for WaveWarrior, getting the Super Potion isn't as beneficial as it would be to Araya, since he didn't grab the PP up and he would have to Earthquake it anyways.
Oh,
It's his turn 2. It saves a little bit of time.
Yep. If you get a turn 1, you can actually drill, but Horn Drill does not work on opponents that are faster than you in Gen 1, as opposed to higher level than you in later gens. So with the agilities, you're actually forced to Horn Drill instead of or Earthquake instead of Horn Drill. Then Earthquake has a much slower animation than Horn Drill, even though animations are turned off. It's still got a flash animation versus a shake animation, which is like 50 frames slower or something. So of the 3 gym leaders that you kind of rush here before Giovanni, Sabrina is probably the scariest because she has 4 Pokemon that you can Gen 1 miss, and you're generally dead if you miss any of them.
I don't think there's been a single Sabrina Gen 1 miss this tournament.
Wait, was Pseudos
Don't quote
not in
me,
the
but-
tournament?
Actually, wait.
I don't know if that was in the tournament or not. I just saw the clip.
I think it was actually.
Because that was a double Gen 1 miss. It was not in the
that's not-
tournament. Okay.
So we haven't seen a Gen 1 miss on Sabrina, I think. That would be really devastating at this point.
You lose because the real problem isn't dying, it's that you don't have red bar for the later fights. Even Mr. Mime with Reflect control you. He doesn't kill with Earth. You don't kill with Earthquake after Reflect if you Gen 1 miss. Or he can just kill you. WaveWarrior makes it through. Scary
It's funny
stuff.
when you're on pace, you feel like this you feel nervous about Gen 1 missing, even though it's so unlikely.
I have lost a record pace run to that happening. It's a thing.
Araya also getting through. No Gen 1 misses.
Love to see it. So I think we're going to have our first major decision point in a while, or at least for Araya. WaveWarrior is almost certainly going to save for Black Belt, but Araya, I believe, will have enough time to actually see if WaveWarrior dies to Black Belt or not before he has to make the decision to save. And if WaveWarrior makes it through, it may be correct for him to go ahead and not save. I don't even know exactly how many seconds he is behind, but there are certain breakpoints that you might
Chat
be
says
looking for.
19 seconds. So
19.
skipping save and not dying to Black Belt would save about 6 seconds.
Yeah, I do think that Araya needs to consider doing that. But with the restream, Araya will not have enough time to see that before. He will not be able to make that decision based on whether WaveWarrior dies or not.
Yep, so WaveWarrior going for the save here, as he definitely should. We'll see if Araya goes for it.
Because, I mean, Araya's dealing with, like, what, 30 seconds of delay?
He goes for it. Goes for it. Wow.
He actually does go for it. I think I do like this decision here, but it was definitely a tough one to make.
Well, yeah, if he dies here, basically he's just going to get second place and WaveWarrior has the win.
Yeah, so it's 15% here for Araya to die. I don't want to see it.
Lives.
Okay, gets the leer. Gets the leer. We got a race, boys. Definitely do not want to see a death there. Super anticlimactic if that happens, but Araya does make up a small bit of time. About a third of the lead that he needs to make up by going for that risk.
And, I mean, I think it was a good decision, especially because he's being accused of the stream sniping. He probably saw that WaveWarrior lived and decided to save for it because, I mean, if WaveWarrior died, then he could have afforded to probably save. But with WaveWarrior living, he basically had to make that decision to not save.
Oh, but he did it without being informed yet, so he did have the balls to go for it, and I believe that puts him in range for like just one Elite Four YOLO to actually give him the lead that he needs. So almost certainly the
You
right
could
call.
also just hope for some shenanigans on the WaveWarrior side to give him that lead.
But do you want to leave it up to fate, or do you want to grab the win yourself?
Yeah, that's a decision that he would have to make, though. You know, it's really up to him.
And WaveWarrior, you know, he has to consider how far ahead he is too when making decisions like potioning for champion and stuff. And it's also worth noting that if Araya had just one more potion, that and the race played out the same way, that he would still have the lead right now because of his death on Lavender Rival. So being forced to use so many potions by Moon Rocket actually could cost him several $100s.
So something to note, WaveWarrior got the Blizzard Rage on Rhydon, and Araya just missed it. And he got frozen solid. And he missed the next Blizzard.
Wow, that is pretty much the
So
worst
he
luck
did
he could have gotten.
lose a lot of time there. Yeah. WaveWarrior got the crit, which kills Rhydon.
So WaveWarrior has to be thinking
So
I'm gonna X accuracy here.
Yeah, he's definitely gonna X accuracy. He only loses about a second. And Araya doesn't have that risk here, so things can also change here. If he just crits and gets a bad roll on Venusaur, things can really shake up here.
Yeah, I don't know. The strat seems kind of crazy, but he's doing it. But does X accuracy. No room for shenanigans outside of the crit on Venusaur. Crits actually ignore. Wow, just getting all the crits out now, huh? Crits actually ignoring stat up changes like X special, which is why he has to worry about it.
Fun fact: if you get a crit low roll on this Growlithe, he actually lives with like 1 HP.
Oh, I was thinking Earthquake for a second, and I was like, there is absolutely no way that's true. But I'm right, he's Thunderbolting with 2X special.
Here it comes, the big blizzard. Doesn't get the crit. Very, very unfortunate if you would have gotten the crit. So it's expected to not.
So Araya is now 24 seconds behind. So Agatha YOLO alone is not going to save him. This is going to be very tough for him to play correctly, I think. But he does... God, and he's like just within range to where he can't easily make decisions like on the same fight as WaveWarrior because of the restream lag. I mean, does Lance even save 24?
I don't know. It doesn't. No.
I don't think so. This is not just one. YOLO
Lorelei might be a pretty good move. Well, actually, I don't know. Lorelei is probably not a good move. I think the best move would probably, like you said, be Agatha.
I think he needs to, like, if Lorelei alone was enough, even then, like, I guess you would probably consider doing something else. I think this is gonna look something like Agatha, YOLO, and then see where you stand based on WaveWarrior's RNG and how safe he plays, and then maybe you have to consider YOLOing Lance. Definitely not saving anywhere.
So Pokia does make a good point though. YOLO Lorelei is 50%, and it's to win $200, and he is behind, so it's not like he would be losing anything in most cases. So
it's just not enough by itself. He needs to use even more than that. Now what's worth considering is that WaveWarrior is gonna have to save to secure his spot, so Araya can save time by not saving. WaveWarrior also needs to watch how many times he saves as well, to not open himself up to, like, a single YOLO being enough.
Yeah, so there are different strats for the depositing. So some racers are gonna decide to not deposit at all and then be able to skip saves since they have revives. But then if you want to go for the YOLO Lorelei, you might as well just deposit, I think.
Yeah, I think what we're going to see Araya do here is not YOLO Lorelei. And if nothing bad happens to WaveWarrior by the time he gets to Agatha, then he's just going to have to YOLO Agatha with the intent to YOLO Lance, if necessary. It is possible that we see Lorelei, but I don't think it's quite correct. Yeah, I mean, honestly, this is incredible. This is, you know, we have the highest stakes Pokemon Red race of all time, and both of these runners are still in it. Like this could go either way for sure. Really, really cool to see. I'm enthralled for one.
Some really high quality execution too from both runners. And it's really just up to mostly RNG and routing differences to decide who's gonna win this race.
WaveWarrior skipping the full restore. It's worth noting. I don't know how many supers he has. He did.
Yep,
I believe he has
WaveWarrior
3.
going for the skip deposit so that he can just skip the saves.
Araya definitely skipping this full restore 100%. Yeah.
Alright, it's going to be interesting to see what Araya does here to save this time.
And so we don't see deposits.
So it's worth noting that Dugong will always rest turn 2, which is why we switched to our flyer here, so that we don't have to risk a 50-50.
Yeah.
And
it allows us to hold red
live.
bar safely moving forward.
Yep.
Which Araya does opt not to YOLO Lorelei. I do definitely agree with this decision, though it is a tough one to make.
Actually, no Gifix, since you have to scroll down twice because you have Squirtle, and every time you use an item on Little King, you also have to scroll down twice.
All right, WaveWarrior starting Bruno. He will pop out a red bar here,
unless he
as well
takes
as Araya.
damage.
Right, unless he takes damage from the Onyx. Both runners taking no damage from Black Ball, so you do level out of red bar.
So taking damage here is pretty good because you get a red bar level up if you take this damage. So WaveWarrior is not going to take the damage.
Do you see Harden? You can actually die there to one combination of moves: slam, hit, crit. Araya is actually, he really, really wants to take damage here, I think. Definitely, actually.
Because then he can YOLO Agatha, because YOLO Agatha is only worth it if you have red bar. If not, you might as well just heal.
Yeah, I think we will see.
Oh, he gets the damage.
He gets the damage! Okay, so I think we're definitely going to see a YOLO Lorelei here, considering the damage. If not, he would have had to probably super and then risk Lance. But this is a great setup.
Setting it up perfectly for YOLO Agatha.
So we're almost certainly... Araya pretty much can't lose to Quelaagging at this point because he can just revive if he dies. So he is gonna YOLO Agatha here by not healing and hoping that he doesn't get Nightshade or hurt himself in confusion. I think he might, because he has the rare candy to use, right? But he's also going to be YOLOing anyway, so he should maybe not even use it.
Well, using the rare candy would make the YOLO a lot more likely to live because of the second Gengar. And yeah, he's going to rare candy here.
Yep, there it is. YOLO Agatha.
WaveWarrior with the hypnosis.
Ooh, I don't think he's going to have time to react to this, though. He could maybe... super potion?
Oh, it's hypnosis.
No,
fail.
double hypnosis. Okay, so
All
this
right,
is the moment. X item and pray.
Dream Eater.
Oh,
he dies.
Gets the Nightshade.
Man.
And that is most likely going to make
gives WaveWarrior the win.
WaveWarrior the winner. Unfortunate. An excellent attempt by Araya. I can't disagree with the way he went
definitely the
about
right
this
play,
race.
especially once he got the that red bar from Bruno. Yeah, if he got Dream Eater, that would have been a crazy turnaround in the race. Would have maybe even given him the lead or put him really close to it. Especially since WaveWarrior got that hypnosis.
Considering that both runners have revives and WaveWarrior now knows, because he's almost certainly watching the stream, that Araya died there, he can play this champion and Lance very safely. So it's very unlikely that Araya can make a comeback if WaveWarrior is playing correctly.
But yeah, you could see that like the race is really just coming down to like RNG and routing, because I mean Araya made the right play. You know, it's just about how lucky you get and making the right plays, and he definitely made the right play there. Just unfortunate.
And it all comes back to the potion that he didn't have, because if he had one more potion, he would not have had to YOLO Agatha there. Oh, Quelaagging with the swag boulder.
I am personally against swag boulders.
Triple.
Oh, misses.
Oh, misses the quadra. What a chain he had though.
Would have been bad if you pushed the boulder downwards. Not like anybody's ever done that before.
Gets the hydro hit.
Doesn't get crit. That almost surely secures the race now.
Yeah, it's pretty much impossible to die to champion if you play correctly from here, and he doesn't
I think
need.
he will save, right? So.
I mean, I don't think he has any reason. Or did he save for Lance?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Yeah, there's no reason for him to save for champ, I think.
Well, I mean, so there is the 4% chance that Sky Attack crit kills WaveWarrior here if he doesn't save.
But doesn't
And
he
that
just
would-
lose anyway if that happens? Or I mean, he revives into it. In all the scenarios where he loses or like where he dies here,
Oh
like,
yeah,
he's
and
either
that-
fine. I don't know.
So we didn't talk about it. So the champ fight is also a lot safer because of the new rare candy routes that really counter Sky Attack. So it would also take missing Blizzard
Yeah,
and
so
then
he
into
does.
the crit.
He does skip save here. I do believe this is definitely correct. Really impressed with the decision making from both runners. There's nothing to be scared of, chat.
20 HP. That's scary. That is scary. A wing attack.
He's got
could definitely do
plenty of
something.
items. So goes for the ride-on setup here. Does he actually tank a 2-turn? I think barely not.
I'm gonna call leader hit.
So even
Oh.
okay, even though he dies here, he should. Oh, he does actually tank the 2-turn.
Oh.
Wow.
I am pretty sure that he just revives, switches back in, sets up his 2 items, and wins anyway.
I wonder if Araya didn't heal, he could have maybe.
Yeah, Araya
Okay.
did. He did save.
He saved and healed.
Yeah, like if he gets red bar and
WaveWarrior just drilled without setting up
and
again.
gets the perfect
No, he
champ
didn't.
fight,
It was,
I wonder if he
right on that drilled.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
This would have been very close if Araya had opted to go in red bar without
Yeah.
saving. I'll actually have to see how many seconds it was.
So yeah, GG to both runners. Really close race. Really coming down to just the last final, like just the last decisions and some RNG at the end.
Yeah, I really am questioning Araya's
Yeah,
decision.
he could
but
have
we'll have
definitely
to-
gone for that YOLO. Because I mean, I don't know, there was no way he would have gotten 3rd place. So I think the
that
right
was-
decision was to not.
36 and a half from WaveWarrior. No, I don't think so. I don't think he would have had it. This is almost 30 seconds or maybe even slightly more. So, Araya did not make a decision that could have, maybe stopped them from winning. Wow.
Wow, Quaid dies.
Save plus red bar on that fight, and heal does not save over 30 seconds, so... So neither runner made a crucial error there, and like pretty much any of the decisions that they made, Araya really forced into the one decision that may have cost him the race by only having one potion.
So WaveWarrior in a 2 to 3, it was a 3-day span, gets the third place 145 and wins this tournament. Might be like the best 3 days ever.
Congratulations to WaveWarrior for being top 3 in Pokemon Red, winning $500 by winning the tournament. Proud to have him as a moderator in my chat.
151.06 is his final time.
Yeah, and Araya with almost 35 seconds. No way he could have won there. But we could have seen like a second Fury attack. Be long Fury attack there, or wing attack into more troll.
Hello.
I don't know. Hello, WaveWarrior.
Hello, WaveWarrior. Congratulations. Amazing week for you.
It's been a pretty good couple days, I gotta say.
That'll be probably the best week that Red will ever give any human being. So, congrats.
Congrats, you did it.
I did it. I want to take a second to talk about how terrible my early game was.
Yeah, you got that Lear Gen 1 miss.
Okay, not only that, the Squirtle I got was 10 attack, 11 special.
Araya, how's it going?
Hello. It's going alright. It's going alright.
I have a question for you.
Yeah,
in the situation that you were in on Lavender Rival, would you have potioned had you had one more?
yes, I think so actually. I was like, okay, so we discussed this multiple times before. And because we have revives, I thought it would be reasonable to go for it. But normally in that situation, being 40 seconds ahead, I would probably have potion, but then I was like, okay, I have only one potion, and my mains are gonna be so messed up, I'd get burned and everything, so I'm just going for it.
Yeah,
but I kind of regret it.
I was saying that you were probably gonna wind up regretting it, but I also think you made the correct decision there, considering mostly because of how chaotic it becomes to do your menus after that. But
yeah, and I also thought, okay, if this works out, then it's gonna be super hot, you know?
right. You're in there.
Yeah, then I would be in such a comfortable position. I could just chill from there if that happened, if that went well.
But yeah, you made some good plays that just didn't work out with the YOLO at Lavender Rival and at Agatha. That if either of those worked, you could have gained a significant amount of time. Especially in Agatha, I think you would have gotten the lead if you had lived that.
Yeah, Agatha was really unfortunate. I saw he got Hypnosis, and I was like, okay, if I just get Dream Eater here, then we're just in. And then, of course, I got Nightshade, and then he Dream Eaters the Squirtle like 5 million times, and it felt so bad.
That's how it goes. Have you played this game before?
Yeah, well, if he didn't get so many Dream Eaters on the Squirtle, then your death on Champion might have been relevant as well.
Yeah, also that confused me really much. I was like, okay, I saw he was through. I was like, I can just super potion and it's fine. But then he died to red. I was like, what? I should have played for red.
So what happened is I had 20 health, which is just about the worst health to be at going into that fight, because if I potion, I'm out of red bar. So I thought, I have 2 revives, and I have like 3 extras of both X items. No way I'm saving and healing. I'm just going to go for it, and I can revive.
Yeah, I think that's very fair.
Yeah, I was saying
In
there's no way you're
races-
gonna save.
Yeah,
Cat's like,
in-
he's totally gonna save.
In races, it's absolutely correct to blizzard the Pidgeot, because if you die to Rhydon, you only have to set up an accuracy, you don't have to set up another special.
Yeah, and you don't die to anything. Yeah, no sky attack nonsense.
Yeah,
Wing attack
and
crit.
Sky Attack nonsense. Although in PB attempts, the difference in percentage is negligible, so you are supposed to set up on the Pidgeot, because it has faster animations.
I was also completely out of blizzards on Champ. That kind of sucked.
Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
very exciting finals. You guys really kept the. There were so many times where you guys were in the same fight, in the same poke. It was
Yeah.
just crazy, really close.
I was
Could have
gonna
gone either way.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm just happy that of course I'm sad I didn't win, but I'm just happy that this finals really delivered. I saw my split on Nugget Bridge and we were all within 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Quelaagging with one of the most unfortunate deaths I have
I
personally
heard
witnessed.
Gambler.
He died to
Yep.
misrange into crit.
Gen-
He switched to Paris, and then Gen 1 missed the Growlithe with Paris and died.
I think
Yeah.
you were
If
very
Quay didn't die to that, it would likely like a 3-man really close race, but
Yeah.
really unfortunate. Wasn't as exciting as it could have been, but it was really exciting still. Between
Yeah,
just
this race
two
was
really
nuts
close
until
runners.
that point.
One
After-
fight before revives.
Yes.
Yeah.
Literally the worst place in the run to die.
I was also surprised that for all of us, at least until the Gambler, that Red Bar went actually pretty well for most of us.
After my
Quelaagging-
Brock split, I thought I was out.
Okay, so anyone who has a worse PB than Quelaagging's finishing time here has got to get it together. Because
Amazing
you
picture
saw
nice.
what this man had to go through to get here.
Yeah, pretty impressive. He finished this one up.
Yeah. It's unfortunate what happened to Quay.
Yep. Well, anyway, I didn't say congrats yet, but congrats for the tournament win, Wave.
Thank you very much.
You really deserve it.
It was a really fun race.
Yeah, it really was. I was sad about a few things that set me back a little bit, but then I was like, okay, like everybody gets shit, so I'm just happy it's so close all the time.
Once I got out of like Moon, I think my execution picked up. My early game execution was terrible.
Yeah, I was sad that I missed Extended. I had Path 5, and I think I missed the A press on the bridge.
Yeah, we saw you.
I don't
you
know
got
what
that
I got.
5.
Yeah, I was wondering. I wasn't quite sure what had happened, but
I played
Yeah,
Crystal a lot yesterday. I
I
wasn't
normally
practicing.
get like super early pass, and I didn't get Path 5 in forever. And I was like, wait, where's the A press exactly? I was like stressing about it in my head, and then I was sure that I missed the A press. So I did back up Reggie.
I didn't
Yeah, I did
remember
too.
any of them, so I just had all 6 maps open until I was past that point.
Yeah.
Yo, what up,
It's actually-
Quelaagging? Congratulations on defeating all of the people with a worse PB than your.
What up, Quay?
How's it going?
Oh, my mic was muted. LOL. Yeah, that Growlithe to death. That kind of screwed me over.
Yeah, that was really shocking.
Heartbreaking.
You definitely were in the running for that race until that point.
Yeah, I don't know. I was still behind, but I wasn't behind that much. But then, yeah, after that, I dropped like 5 minutes behind or something like that. At the moon, everything went downhill. Sad.
I got one sand attack on Bridge Rival and then only missed one time. Felt pretty good.
Quelaagging got shredded by the Pidgeotto.
But
And then they're at- Yeah, he got so low health. But sick race, guys. I mean,
Yeah,
I
thank you
was-
guys for picking us to commentate. It was really fun to commentate this race. I'm really honored to have done it.
I finished. That's all I wanted to
Yeah,
do.
thank you guys for commentating. Pretty nice that we got 3 commentators for the finals.
Nice point to make is that Quay used pallet cans, so pallet cans made it to the end here.
16 deaths, Baron. I died twice this run.
oh, wow,
Wait, 16 deaths in the tournament.
Yeah.
that is
I died every
something
race.
else.
That's quite unfortunate.
That's gunner luck.
I think this might be my first deathless race of the tournament. No, wait, no. Well, I died to
No, you
Champ,
did- you-
I guess.
Yeah.
Well, I really need to go eat dinner, so I'm gonna
All right.
step out.
I think I have
Good
to
luck.
commentate.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
thank you,
thanks
both.
to all the organizers.
Yeah, thank you for
putting
organizing. It was
together
a
the tournament.
blast.
The tournament was really good. Obviously, there were some things that I'm sure the next tournament is just going to be even better. It's going to be more refined because this tournament was a blast. Definitely better than the 2017 one that didn't finish.
Yeah, yeah. If we compare it to that, it's so much better. Still on.
Well, this one finished, so it's already better.
Yeah,
The
finished.
3-man races are just a huge difference in terms of run quality.
Yeah, I'm glad that the 3-way races thing kind of worked out. Like I don't even want to think about 1v1s with this red route. So,
Oh man, that's disgusting.
but yeah, also thanks to SpeedGaming for hosting our tournament.
So much, guys.
Thanks, guys.
All right.
We'll see y'all,
Yep.
next
Good
year
job.
or whatever.
2021.
Never touching red again.
See you guys. Good job and congrats to WaveWarrior.
Later, guys, and
Yeah, congrats. GG's on that.
GG.